Welcome to Yokota Air Base. We're zoomed in on a KC-10, parked directly in front of the passenger terminal, the Air Mobility Command Terminal. Had it not been so overcast, you'd see Mount Fuji way off in the distance.
To Japan! Other people are probably allowed to talk.
Yep, that's Japan.
Oh, that is really weird.
Is that the playground in Japan?
Somebody getting pulled over in Japan?
Something getting pulled over in Japan?
A tree in Japan?
Japanese tree? Ooh. Let's zoom in. Look at that, Japan.
Why are they driving like...
We're on the wrong side
Everyone's
of the
like,
road
oh my
in
god,
Japan?
you're on the wrong side because
Wrong
they're such
side.
ignorant Americans.
I didn't
don't
know
realize
that.
there's a whole world out there.
Here's a pretty good perspective. You can see the tower housing situated over on the west side. Off to the left, you'll see the towns of Musashi, Murayama, which is kind of a mixed zoning bag, a little agricultural, industrial, residential, commercial, all kind of thrown into the mix. We're going to take a sharp right here. As you can see, we're coming up on the approach to runway 18. And there's a traffic signal, which obviously alerts you to low-flying aircraft, either on takeoff or landing. In which case, if you get red, you better stop. You don't want to get clipped by a C-130, or a C-5 Galaxy for that matter. And shortly, we'll be headed toward the East Yokota Base, which includes some housing, tower housing, the townhouses, the two-story townhouses, the base hospital, Natatorium, indoor swimming pool, of course, a movie theater, and a few other amenities, a shopette. Kind of a gloomy day, totally socked in, overcast, gray, which isn't too unusual for the Kanto region. That's quite a jog around the base. See quite a few joggers doing their routine. Way off in the distance, you can see Yokota Tower, the new tower. Now, the city of Fussa is situated over toward the opposite side of the base, on the east-southeast side. There's some little small family plots, family farms to the left outside of the base perimeter. Now we're taking a bend to the left, headed east, and you can see some tower housing.
Line drive, right over short.
Where is that at?
Line drive.
And there's about a half a dozen ball fields, softball, baseball diamonds, soccer fields. Here's an example of one of the towers. And each of the quarters are very similar. Got nice views, a little balcony to look out over the flight line if you're looking in that direction. Housing towers, which began going up, I believe, back in the early 80s on some of the bases, are now scattered far and wide across virtually all the bases and military installations overseas. Of course, in Japan and Okinawa, where land is a premium and there's really no room to expand the bases whatsoever, they take up a smaller footprint and have virtually replaced all of the old traditional housing quarters, the 1- and 2-story units. Here's the daycare, the youth center. And next door to it is a child care facility. Off to the left, the indoor pool complex, the Natatorium. And if you were to turn left, you'd head toward the base hospital. Now we're driving through a housing area, and there's 2-story townhouse quarters mixed in with the tower housing units and the like. And this is Airlift Avenue, the main drag through the heart of Yokota. Off to the left would be the main command unit, headquarters, 374th Airlift Wing. And if you were to turn right, you'd head directly toward the Fussa gate, the main gate, headed out to Route 16. And you can barely see it on the right, but that's Chili's. Yes, as in Chili's restaurant. They have a Burger King here as well, a standalone Burger King with a drive-up window, the whole kit and caboodle, just like they have back in the States. And this is the gym, the Samurai Fitness Center on the left. Yokota is typical of many military installations overseas. It's like small-town America. The Air Force strives to provide all of the amenities that you would see in a small town. It's really a Kansas in the heart of Japan. You've even got more elbow room than you would right outside the gate. From movie theaters to bowling alleys, to McDonald's, Burger King, clubs and social activities, Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, church and social activities, Little League, soccer, football, Pop Warner football, men's league, co-ed softball, you name it, it's all here. And if we were to continue going straight, you'd come across Yokota High School and the Furniture Mart. But we're turning left. I don't know what they're building. I believe it's a parking garage. And I believe that's where Bonk Field used to be, where the construction site is. This is McGuire Avenue, and that's Hangar 15 off to the right. And you'll see shortly. That's where all the big activities, concerts, USO shows, field events for the base occur inside that hangar. Now we're coming up on Davis Avenue, and you can see the flight line off in the distance in the background. Flight line to the right now, and Davis Street, parallels the flight line from one end to the other. And now we're circling the 374th Airlift Wing headquarters, heading toward Airlift Avenue once again. There's the base chapel on the left. It looks like it hasn't changed in years. This is the Kanto Lodge, which is similar to a hotel. It's a transient billet for visitors, personnel on TDY, or personnel and families PCSing in and out. This is where they would typically be quartered for anywhere from a few days, perhaps overnight, maybe a month. And it's got all the amenities of a typical four-star hotel. And situated directly across the street is unaccompanied personnel housing. This is where the old dependent housing quarters used to be, long ago torn down. I think back in the 80s, early 80s, thereabouts. Pan around back to the Kanto Lodge once again. This is the Chili's restaurant. We're coming up on the backside of Chili's now. Chili's Yokota. And it's just like any other Chili's back stateside. Standalone restaurant and operates pretty much the same way. We're headed down Arnold Drive toward the West Terminal gate near the AMC Passenger Terminal, and if we were to go beyond Highway 16, directly on the opposite side of Highway 16, we'd be over at the West Housing Annex.